My name is Hajar a doctoral student in University, and today I'm going to present the results of our research, me and Professor Reknox, on internationalization at home for a more inclusive internationalization of higher education at University. So this is the outline. First, there is an introduction. Then I'm going to give you a brief overview of the current status of the internationalization of higher education in Morocco. Then I'm going to share the methodology of the study. The results and findings are divided into four main sections: internationalization and student mobility in Moroccan higher education, the current status of the internationalization at home in University, challenges of as well as opportunities of the internationalization at home. So, internationalization of higher education is actually at the center of attention for the majority of countries around the world, and Morocco is no exception. However, there is a great focus on the internationalization abroad, as the majority of students and professors prefer it as a form of internationalization. However, after the 3 years COVID-19 pandemic that paralyzed the movements between countries and also the Russian-Ukrainian conflicts, institutions understood that there is a need to rethink their internationalization model. Besides the global crisis, internationalization abroad does not include and engage a large number of students, as only a small number of students get to have an international study abroad experience. So internationalization at home is seen today as an inclusive alternative to engage all students, each and every student, to have an international experience and without leaving their home country. So Morocco has indeed made significant efforts in order to implement internationalization at home. Internationalization of higher education. It is actually one of the priorities set by the Moroccan plan for higher education, and it is done by both inbound and outbound mobility. I'm going to share with you numbers of students outbound mobility. So, a total of 68,770 Moroccan students mobile abroad in 2021. For the inbound mobility, a total of 23,347 foreign students studied in Morocco in 2021. So Morocco indeed aspires to become a hub of higher education for French-speaking sub-Saharan African. So besides the mobility, Moroccan universities the participation of Moroccan universities in European projects is very active, especially the Erasmus Plus program. But when it comes to the internationalization at home, very little research has been done, undertaken in Moroccan universities. However, the recent initiative set by the Erasmus program, the Mediterranean countries towards internationalization at home, which aims to develop an internationalization at home model which is adapted to the Moroccan context. And this project involved like 17 universities from 9 countries, including three Moroccan universities, Moulissa University in Meknes, Rumed in Fes, and Al-Khawem University in France. When it comes to the internationals of the curriculum, again, very little, if any, research has been done in Morocco. In her article, Professor Yemkenk in 2019 on the internationalization of higher education, she asserted that the curriculum in Moroccan universities does not adopt an international dimension, and it fails to meet international standards. So the study aims to examine the extent to which internationalization at home is implemented in Mohammed V University. It also aims to examine the students' and professors' awareness and understanding of the concept and identify both challenges of and opportunities of internationalization at home. So these are the research questions. So the study focuses on Mohammed V University. It adopts a mixed method approach, combining both a questionnaire and an interview. A total of 50 students and 15 teachers from Mohammed V University were interviewed. 300 surveys were administered to students. In the study, teachers were only interviewed. So now let's move to the results. And the first section of the results and findings is related to internationalization and student mobility in Mohammed V University. And students were asked whether they had an international study abroad program. Only 15% had studied abroad, while 84% had never had any international experience abroad. So this again confirms the non-inclusive nature of the current practices of internationalization in Mohammed V University. So students' experiences further confirm what the numbers shows. So here are some testimonies of students. I'll move to the current status of internationalization at home at Mohammed V University, and the first step towards examining whether it is implemented is to examine whether students and professors are aware and familiar with this concept. So of all teachers interviews, more than half were familiar with the term, while the rest of them have never heard of it. But for students, none of them knew what the internationalization at home was about. Also, students and teachers both were asked whether their institution includes an international dimension in its curriculum. So 32% stated that their curriculum included an international dimension, 34.5% were not sure, and 33% did not feel that their curriculum included any international dimension. More than one-third students interviewed considered that their curriculum includes an international dimension, and for that I'll read this testimonial. Yes, I think our curriculum is internationalized. Some courses are taught in English. So it is important to note that a large number of students interviewed who actually confirmed that their curriculum is internationalized because they link internationalization of the curriculum to the use of English at certain courses. And merely offering a program in English is not considered as an international curriculum. Another point is that some students explain that internationalization of curriculum varies from one discipline to another. So there are some disciplines who requires an international dimension, others are traditional and does not require it. So for teachers, among the teachers interviewed, none of them considered the curriculum to be internationalized. So here I'll read, the curriculum is localized, often is limited to our country and sometimes even limited to the region. So also students were asked whether they are aware of the international activities at Mohammed V University, international activities within their institution, and only 25% were aware of these activities, while 48.60% were not aware and 26.40% were not sure. So the findings actually reveal a rather limited degree of implementation of internationalization at home in Mohammed V University, as a large number of students and teachers were completely familiar with the term. So let's move to the challenges of internationalization at Mohammed V University. And the interviewees identified 7 critical challenges that must be addressed. So the first one is weak governance. So indeed, interviewees emphasize that weak governance and management are impacting. unimpeded efforts towards implementing internationalization at home. Inefficiency of organizational structure for internationalization, and in this challenge, the majority emphasize the fact that there is no internationalization office in most institutions in university. Lack of leadership, limited decision making, and for this challenge, they emphasize the fact that teachers have no word to say. There is a lack of autonomy, and in order to have a successful implementation of internationalization at home, all actors within the university need to work together. A lack of clear policies and guidelines. So most interviewees have emphasized the fact that there is no clear, precise plan for internationalization at home. Financial autonomy, and this is actually the most mentioned challenge. It's actually, no one can deny that the Moroccan university still faces a problem with the inadequate funding and resources in order to implement internationalization at home. Last but not least, the language barrier. Actually, language is one of the requirements for international interaction, and the lack of proficiency among students and professors is actually a real challenge. So now let's move to the opportunities of internationalization at home. So the findings revealed 4 major opportunities arising from the internationalization at home: preparing global citizens. It actually helps students develop an understanding of the wider world, and also develop intercultural competence, open up to the world and improving visibility and ranking. Students' personal development. Students gain confidence, resilience. They are more country's development, so it helps train students in order to contribute positively to their country. So the last section of fostering inclusive internationalization at Mohammed V University. So the findings have showed and emphasized that internationalization at home is actually an inclusive alternative to get all students to have the same opportunities to have an international experience, and it fosters inclusiveness by internationalization for all, regardless their social class, gender, or ethnic background. So internationalization at home is gaining attention, as it is seen as a key element to enable a greater number of students to acquire intercultural competence and live an international experience. But a clear vision and a strategic plan and adequate resources are needed. Strengthening governance, enhancing leadership, establishing clear policies, and improving financial and organizational frameworks will create a more supportive environment for internationalization. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Any questions on internationalization at home? To me, that's an interesting topic. I've never heard about it. It's not my area. But maybe someone in the room is more knowledgeable of that and have a question. Yes, please, go ahead.
I have a question. Is an international curriculum essential for ensuring effective and efficient education here in Morocco? Shouldn't we just focus, for example, on the Moroccan program and make sure to work on it without, for example, trying to search for other examples from, for example, other countries?
So internationalization of the curriculum is essential in the sense that students get to know what is done in other places. So you have more knowledge on what is being done in your topic, and having examples is actually more important than having just your like localized curriculum where you only know what is happening in the world. It also helps you to get into proper confidence, critical thinking, and I think that's. Did I answer your question? Or I didn't.
I am a co-author, and I think I can answer. Of course, nowadays the world, as we said, thanks or under the impact of globalization, has become a small village, whether we like it or not. And now all institutions all over the world try to train their students to become global citizens. And there are job opportunities everywhere now, of course. And yet now with the, as you may have noticed in Morocco, you have international organizations, companies, and so on, settling in Morocco. And in order to work with these people, in these NGOs or international organizations, international companies, and so on, you need to show that you have an international experience, that you are open on other cultures, that you have had a study abroad experience, and this is a requirement in all institutions all over the world. So being really not open on the world will limit your way of thinking. You should be aware of what is happening. Climate change is a global issue. Our students should be aware of climate change challenges. They should be aware of SDGs, now that have become one of the key aspects of the curriculum in, I'm aware of, American universities. No department now, all departments are including at least a course on SDGs and all what they involve. So if we focus on Moroccan local programs, we will be cut from the world. You will be limited to your space. You won't be able to work and communicate with people from other international countries. Okay? So I hope I have answered your. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We have a question at the back.
Thank you very much, Hajar, for your interesting presentation. Actually, I have a question regarding like the job that the university is doing to increase the attractivity of the institution to international students, especially that this can help mitigate the issue of brain drain we talked about earlier. It can transform brain drain into brain gain. So what is based on your findings, of course, what is the university doing or should do to reverse the story, to attract more, international students to have this internationalization at home?
Well, I've been working on the issue of internationalization for more than a decade now, and I've also developed an internationalization plan for Mohammed V University. I think that it's not actually, again, I get back to, it's not the role of the university because the university is not the one that manages job opportunities. It's the ministry, it's the government. I think it's at a higher level. It's up to the country to attract its people to come back. And I think that the experience that the ministry had with the diaspora working abroad, trying to attract them, but when people considered the offer the government was making, they made fun of it, really. They laughed about it, saying that a minimum of what they are getting there should be given to them so that they get back. So I don't think that it's up to the universities.
Yeah, what I meant, Professor Krat, is not in terms of like employment. I meant like the attractivity of the university in terms of research. Like universities are classified based on the research outputs, maybe the CHR, like how classified they are. If we attract more, the elite, the international students, this could help, increase the classification of the university globally.
Yeah, of course. Actually, our universities, and I have written again and published articles about this, our universities are not prepared to receive international students. I have addressed the issue of infrastructure, linguistic barrier. Actually, we are holding a seminar, regional seminar with the Forum for Education, with the Forum of Education in the US on the 17th of May, to see how we can attract, how Morocco can promote and really develop strategies for attracting, especially we are doing it with Americans, so Americans are interested in sending, American universities are very much interested in sending their students to Moroccan universities. They want to find out about the challenges their students will be facing when they come to Morocco. One of the key challenges I have highlighted in my publication is the linguistic barrier and the infrastructure. So I think I was with the president of the university on Saturday for a long meeting, and I addressed this with him. I said, it's high time we considered having, even in political science, international relations, sociology, psychology, history, courses delivered in English. People, even Americans who come, do not have a high proficiency in Arabic to take courses in Arabic. And I was in charge of cooperation at the Faculty of Letters, as you know. Students would come to Morocco to take courses in sociology, in history, in political science, international relations. But when they realize that it's in French or Arabic, they get really frustrated. And we have to really find a way for them to do this through a research project with under the supervision of a teacher who masters English. I think that it's high time for Morocco to get rid of French and really adopt English as a medium of instruction. We have been really asking for this and promoting this for so long, but I think that we are losing a lot with this.
Yeah, thank you so much for your responses.